Welcome back to the shop here, guys. Skid steer right here. It was having issues. Basically, you'd start it up, hit the throttle, and it came up with error code 0009, which is throttle position sensor issues. So when Molly and I were on the honeymoon, I came back. I had rats in here for the first time ever. I've had rats in my shop. It caused all kinds of destruction. I mean, they just ate the insulation. Oh my gosh, let me show you this. Still cleaning on it, but see all that? Yeah, they just chewed on the insulation right there. That was very kind of them. So I go to move my pickup truck, and I hadn't started it in a while, so the first thing I did was pop open the hood, out comes a rat out of the headliner, down that way, over. And luckily one of the dogs caught it. So the next thing I go to do is I go to move the skid steer, and a rat comes on my skid steer. Right about after that, we start to have this error code start getting thrown, causes all kinds of issues. I was not going to make a video on doing a repair deal. I really wasn't going to do a video on it. However, we're going to do a video on it. So this is what's happened so far. It's going to be off of my cell phone, so it's going to have the black bars on each side of it. Bear with me. Like a minute's worth of footage, but tells you where we've gotten to this point right here, and pick up with you after that. This afternoon's task is that there is the lovely product of a rat that won't let my skid steer throttle up. So chewed on a wire down there. Let's dive in. Had to block it up so I could take the pans off of it because of my stature. Can't quite fit under the skid steer. Tell you what, when I started that sucker up right there, there's a dead rat in there somewhere, and I'm about to go all Liam Neeson or taking on him. I will hunt it, and I will find it, and cuss it. If you guys could only smell what I'm smelling right now, trust me, you'd rather smell what the rock's cooking. Found it. I think it hit my face on the way down though. Yeah. You know, sometimes when you're into a project, you just kind of say, well, let's just keep her going here, and why not pop her top off? But I think we might have found our issue here. Throttle control. I'm hoping that's the wire, because there's a chewed on mark right there. And then there's a couple chewed on marks right there. And right there was Hotel de Rata. And of course, you gotta have that one bolt that hasn't come out in almost 10 years. So you gotta be nice and gentle with it, you know, and nurture it. Nurtured! I don't know. Part of me kind of thinks that end of the foot throttle is supposed to be connected to something. I almost wonder if I give this a little tug, if that happens to be a little loose on that end. The rest of their house. So yes, now this gal is pretty well torn apart, and if you've ever wanted to see the inside of a Kubota skid steer, here it is. There's your pump, your manifolds, all that good stuff is under the seat here, and then obviously the engine's on the other side. If you've ever wondered that, the whole cab lifts up on hinge points, allows you to get down in there. Here's the foot throttle. It's hanging out right there. It's just transferred over by a cable, kind of like a bike brake cable. There's your positions. There's your sensor for your throttle sensor, which that right there is what connects into the end of that sensor. This is where it got chewed on. We soldered and spliced the cable back together, gave it a little bit of a tape job. I had to find myself some wire loom to get it protected, that connects into another sensor right there. I will be working to get this reinstalled, the whole skid steer put back together. Hopefully it runs. If it runs, I gotta change the oil on it. I don't think I'll probably change the oil in the video, but kind of get that, get closer to making sure that this thing's ready to go, because we're ready to use it. See if I can figure out how to get this wire back. Holders for the loom. There we go. So I'm going to try something. I should be, in theory, able to hook this up and not start my skid steer, but should be able to see if it has any codes. I'm gonna use you guys. I don't see any codes there. Still stinks. Woo. Makes me wonder if there's another dead rat in here somewhere, or if it's just gonna have a certain smell for certain bit. Hey, there's a cigarette lighter I didn't know it had. We got no codes. That to me means it's time to start putting this gal back together the best I can. Means this awkward thing's the first gal to go back in. Okay. Got a little extra foam here. This fun fact, this is from one of the GoPros. Audio thing. So most of the time, the reason I don't like doing these mechanicking videos is because I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm literally bumping my head away through fixing some of this stuff, so I don't want it to be like a how-to video. So don't take this as a how-to video, because I literally just tear things apart until I find what I think's broken, and then I try and remember how it goes back together to the best of my ability. That's the extent of my mechanic skills. This is part of the protector that I took apart on the bottom. There it is. Sound like I about broke it. Like that. Okay. Then in goes this plate. I think this is supposed to be, like they call it, like the toolbox storage deal. You can keep tools under there if you want to, I guess. We don't. About right. See if we can lower the cab. One last quick link for tools. Okay. Yeah, we're getting there. Man, it stinks. Confirm that there's no errors. I would start it, but I got the back end of this thing torn apart. You'll see that here in a second. That thing's full of dirt. You might be amazed by the amount of dirt that comes out of this thing when I get it going. Last thing we're putting on here are the cab bolts. This goes through the top, through the bottom, and that's what holds the cab down. One goes right there, and the other one goes right there. So in the back here, I cleaned everything I could out. And there's the dirt that I got out of the pan of this, which we'll see even closer up, but this radiator right here, it actually rotates and tilts out like so, which means that you can't start it with it in that position because you probably trash your fan blade. So I got to scoot it back in. It looks a little low. So I think we're ready to start it, and I'm just gonna swing this gal over here. A couple of things that I've purchased off of Amazon. One's within a year, and one was a long time ago. It was actually when I did these ceiling, added these extra lights, is that these are like LED bars that are supposed to go up under your ceilings for lighting and stuff like that. They're a super cheap way to have like a really good stick light to slide under things. Really lights things up, and with them being longer, you can, they work really good. I'll put a link to those there. I mean, they're cheap, like relatively cheap over that. And then another thing that I bought, not too long ago, was this push sweep up thing. Now this doesn't do a fantastic job by any means, but if you want to, there you can kind of see, is that it picks up the big stuff really quick without pushing all that dust up into the air. It only does a good job if it's going straight. If it goes on the corner, it sucks. But it's actually a quick way to kind of pick up the big stuff really pretty fast. Okay, watch for rats. Well, it starts and runs, but now I've got that mess to clean up. Well, I'm going to consider that a success. So I'm going to consider that a successful repair job there. Got to change the oil on it still, but it's pretty much ready to go to work this spring. We got quite a few things that we need to do. I want to get the lights on the truck again, but that's not a big issue. Bigger thing is that that's the end of the rat saga. Hopefully in my shop and in my skid steer, so that I don't have to deal with something like that again. So hopefully you guys like that little bit of a video, a little bit shorter, a little bit of a repair thing. and we'll see you guys in the next one.